Edric would literally sleep in a public place, irrespective of the noise, like the noise pollution or whatever it's called. He would sleep and sleep, and I'll be wondering, is he alive? Is he okay? Hey, lovely souls, welcome back to Emerald and Gold. It's your girl Mary, and of course, it's a beautiful day. It's always a pleasure to come on here to show myself. And yes, today is going to be a beautiful day. I believe it, I affirm it. If you're having a rough day already, this is me giving you a charge that you should switch it up with your words of your mouth. Begin to confess what you want to see, and they would come to pass. Alright, I greet you especially if you're new on board. Welcome to Emerald and Gold once again, a beautiful place where you want to stick by, where we solely focus on fashion, faith, lifestyle, and everything wellness in a holistic approach. Today, I'm grateful and excited for what I'm about to pour in on here. And before I go into what I'm here for, I just want to take a few moments to appreciate my subscribers and also to thank those that have been, engaging in the comment section, and also charge you to please do well to engage if you're yet to stay updated. Try to go through what I've uploaded in the past and just get to know what this channel entails. Yes, you're welcome. Please feel free to sit down, relax, grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, and we're about to have a smooth ride. Okay, so today I bring you something good. So you parents, guidance, come in here, come. I have something very nice to tell you. Today is going to be more about milestone in kids. But today let's start up. Yeah, because I'm talking about milestone in children, and this is something that resonates with me beautifully well with me, because I'm a mother of two, and not just a mother, I'm also a child to a mother as well. Thankful for my mother's life, and sometimes I sit back and I wonder, how did our parents do it? Like raising more children than we are in this generation, where we give birth to 2, 3, and we are done succeed, trying to make sure their kids are solidly grounded. Yes, so that's one thing. However, there is something that has come to my notice. This is something that over time, when I sit with parents, I get to hear some people, compare milestones, especially for the first-time mothers, or maybe mothers that have had about 2 to 3 kids, and then trying to compare progress or trying to weigh the scale to see if, oh, did I do it right? I think I did it better than this person. I would want to make you understand that milestones in kids are not cheat codes, they're personal development. Some people believe that, oh, if my child has not sat down at the age of, say, 7 months, then there is something wrong. Or if my child has not started speaking at the age of 1, there is something wrong. If my child has not started taking so type of food, oh, there is something wrong. I kid you not, it is something that I have heard over and over time, and it's so overwhelming. It's not something that is admirable, because I feel like these are kids. Each child is different in his own way. You can use the system, the style, or the pattern in which you use in watching or monitoring or reading a particular child to enforce the same on another child, because each child is different. Like this distinctive features. That's why they don't even look alike. Even if they look alike, there will still be something that would set them aside when it comes to resemblance, something that would just make them unique in their own way. So I feel we as parents, we as guardians should appreciate the fact that these children are all different in their own way and in their capability, So here is, have you noticed how much pressure parents sometimes, feel about their kids eating milestones? The first smile, crawling, walking, talking. We often treat these as boxes to be picked. Like you see parents write. I'm not saying you should not journal or write down or create a schedule to see how much, like a milestone box or a milestone chart to see what progress and when the progress is reached. But what I'm just saying is that we often treat these boxes to be ticked as though there are some secret parenting hack, or there are some cheat code, or it's just funny. It's just funny how some parents think or behave. But here's the truth, here's the truth, and this is something I would like to tell you. Milestones aren't competition. You can't go comparing yourself with other moms or other parents. There are definitely proofs that parents are doing well, fine. But there are still not proofs that parents can figure it all out, because, in quotes, they are the ones that better these children. You better the child, yes, fine. But still, God is the one that decides when each child reaches a particular milestone. So don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on your child, or because you feel like, oh, my first child did this, so, and so, then this second child should also do so, and so. Take for example, in the infancy stage, where a child is just between the age of 0 to 2 years old, and you expect like a rapid physical growth, doubling, tripling, birth weight, development of motor skills, crawling, standing, walking, and all of those things. The first word, language foundations, and all of that. You expect, okay, these are the things that my child should reach at this particular stage of infancy, and that's fine, because I know that it keeps you on. I wouldn't say it keeps you on the edge, but it keeps you on track for you to know. It keeps you on track for you to know that, yes, okay, this is being reached. This is something that has been achieved, and then you're looking forward to the next thing. And then comes the early child between the age of 2 to 6 years, where there's a strong growth in language and imagination. They begin to learn independence, toileting, dressing, feeding themselves, trying to put things together and want to say, oh, mommy, I can do it myself. Daddy, you don't need to help me, I can try. That's something that is really, really reasonable. Beginning of the social play and friendship, cultivate. That's when you can ask a child, oh, have you made friends in school? What's the name of your friend? Maybe when they are between that stage of kindergarten to say their first year in school. This is where curiosity and asking endless questions sets in, developing a sense of self. They begin to know who they are. They want to start questioning you. They want to oppose you at some point, and they want to decide, like make decisions, and that's fine. Okay, now let's move to the stage of middle childhood, between the ages of 6 to 12. I have both my children between this age, fortunately for me. And obviously, between this age, we see slower and steady physical growth. We see improved motor skills, we see coordination, and academic learning. There's something you can just keep track on. You can see, okay, this child is reading, this child is able to have like problem solving skills. They start to build upon their peer relationship. They can talk easily about friends. Or mommy, so person wants to have a birthday party, I would like to attend. Or mommy, this is what I want for my home birthday. Mom, this is where I want to go for summer. Or mom, this is what I want to do after school, and stuff. And peer relationship becomes very important to them. Developing self-confidence and comparing abilities with other children becomes a thing for them. And this is something I've kind of seen in my kids, both of them, knowing that one is 10 and one is about to be 7. It makes me understand that, at this middle childhood, they're very sensitive. They want to see what's happening. They are seeing what's happening. They might not talk as much as you expect them to, but trust me, they see. Because if you ask them, they will tell you, oh, this is what I heard. This is what I've seen. And they are almost approaching the stage of accountability. And I kid you not, this is the stage where once they are grown, maybe to adulthood, they easily tell you, oh, I remember at also points this thing happened to me. Because even me as a mom, I remember some things that happened to me when I was at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is how it is. This is what, keeps you going as a... And then, of course, we get to the adolescent stage between the age of 12 to 18, where puberty sets in between the boys and the girls. And we all know what puberty is. We all know how the girls begin to behave, how they become very self-aware. And how they become very protective of themselves, and how the boys as well want to dominate and just want to be heard and seen and stuff. Those hormonal changes and physical attributes as well. Identity exploration. The question of who am I set in. They really want to know who they are. They want their own space. They want privacy. Excuse me, I want to be by myself. I want to own my room myself. I want to They just want space. They just want to and they just want to enjoy themselves and really know what they have, get to explore themselves and self-indulge. And this is where stronger influences from peer group comes, and this is where you, as a parent, you try not to be caught up with the fact that, okay, yes, I want to just respect my child. At the end of the day, you trying to respect your child and not treating them as a child will tell on you and the child in future. So this is where it gets to, grow with them. You are already grown, but you have to grow with your child. You have to, bring yourself to their level, talk to them. In as much as you're giving them space, you also want to be in their space. You want to occupy a position in their life where it's easy for them to trust mommy or daddy, or relate with you and say certain things that even you as a parent or as a child back then, you won't be able to say to your parents. I don't want to digress, but I remember sometimes in my life where I'll tell my mom. Okay, my mom will tell me some things, and I'm like, oh, this is different with other people and their parenting style. But anyways, that's my mom, and that's the upbringing I had, and it has helped me so far, and I'm grateful for it. Would I train my children in that pattern? Maybe not 100%, because he was a little harsh, but still, I know I would to an extent 80%, because I know it really helped my personality, it really helped my perspective of life and how I've been shaping into an adult. For the early childhood between the ages of 18 to 40 and the adulthood, the mature adulthood from the age of 40 to 65. I don't need to say much about these ages, because we know that this is where establishment occurs, this is where building intimate relationship occurs, possible marriage, partnership, investments, beginning of long-term responsibilities, planning of pensions, looking back and, having reflections, trying to get stability, peace, and a whole lot of things, it's kind of reflects on how milestones are reached, not just in infancy. That was why I made sure I touched every stages of growth, not just focusing on infancy, but back to infancy, because that's more like the primitive stage. That's more like the stage that is quite sensitive, where parents kind of get it wrong. Oh, what do you want to understand about your child's feeding pattern? What do you want to understand about your child's sleeping pattern? What do you want to understand about your child's physical attributes and their motor skills? How are they able to grow and be shaping into what you want to see them as? Are they hitting the milestones at the stage you have set on your tick list on the chart? Are they reaching it at that point in time? It's not magic. This is where I want to slow you down. Mothers, listen, it's not magic. It's called personal development. It's called growth. I need you to understand that each child is distinct and you can't force anything. You can encourage a child. I've had situations where people will talk about, oh, I have an autistic child. I've even experienced counseling a parent of autistic child, where we did lots of evaluation, we did lots of follow-ups and all and stuff, but this child was still displaying that special personality, and the mom just had to come to terms with it that yes, a child was autistic, because at the initial stage she didn't want to accept it. She was like, no, there's nothing wrong with the child, he's still very small, and it's just his personality, he's just trying to discover himself. And this was a child of, say, I think 4 years, between the ages of 3 to 4. But we could tell that this boy was autistic, but the mom did not want to believe. His autistic level was, I think it was a mild one, because he was still able to, adapt to surroundings in the school and stuff. There were just distinctive features that set him as being an autistic child and with a special need. Well, that's another thing. Now, coming to sleeping pattern. I remember my first son, Edric. Edric would literally sleep in a public place, irrespective of the noise, like the noise pollution or whatever it's called. He would sleep and sleep, and I'll be wondering, is he alive? Is he okay? He would literally, in short, just blast the loudest of music, put on anything, just make noise. My son would sleep and sleep as if, oh no, this world is mine, like it's for no one else. He would sleep and enjoy himself. Whereas my elder son, when I had him, within that same age of 2 to 4, He wouldn't sleep. He was always hyperactive. When you beg him to sleep, oh no, he sleeps for like 30 seconds, he's awake. When there's a little sound, he's already awake. Like, you literally have to tiptoe to leave his room. You have to, like, it was a totally different ball game for me. And it was then I knew, okay, each child is actually different. One had issue. One was birthed as a very small baby. He didn't like to take cereal. He didn't like to take milk and stuff. He just managed milk, but he didn't really like cereal. But when it was time for him to start eating adult food, oh my goodness, see transformation. He ate as if there was no tomorrow. Until now, he loves adult food. But the other one that was born big, that loved his milk, that loved his cereal, grew up not liking adult food. We have to like chase him around the house and, sit him down, make sure you have to even feed him. He, not like he couldn't feed himself, he could feed himself, but he just didn't want to dedicate his time to eating the food. Not because he's not hungry, he's hungry, but he just doesn't see it as something that is attractive enough for him to want to, grow his appetite for it. And that is where parenting comes in. That is where you understanding that there is work to be done, but still it is not a cheat code when you get it right. It's just their personal development. And I want us parents to appreciate that we are doing well. Don't be so hard on yourself. Every milestone is a step in personal development for the child. It's not for the parents to get maybe like an honorary badge that yes, I did it, yes, it's my making. No. Think about it, when a child learns to walk, it's not because mom or dad cracked a magic formula. It's not because the child's body or mind are ready to take the next step, right? The same goes for speech, say the child's emotional regulation, or even social skills. Each stage unfolds uniquely, and I want us as parents to really understand this, as parents, caregivers, or even aunties and uncles, because these children can be in our custody, we can be responsible for them. Our role isn't to force timing. No, you don't have to force timing. I want you to create an environment that nurtures growth, like genuine nurturing, nurture the growth, and it's about patience, encouragement, celebrating the small wins, the small victories, no matter how little it is. Celebrate it. For me, I'll tell you a secret. Whenever my son's teeth come off, I know it's something that is common with every parent, but I can tell you that for every time I've been in the picture when my kids' teeth fall off, till today, I have all their teeth complete, kept in a box, like separated. This is for Edric, this is for Enoch. Whatever I'm going to do with it, I really can't tell for now. I know at the end of the day, when they're grown, I'll tell them, take your teeth. I will likely do that and say, oh, take your teeth, I kept them for you. But what's the brain behind all of this? What's the point in doing this? It's just to appreciate and acknowledge the fact that this is not my making. It's nature. It is God's doing. It is His divine intervention. It's the phenomenal measure with which God puts in work on each child that counts for me. I love them for their differences. I love them for their uniqueness. I love them for the fact that I'm able to explore different dimensions of doing things. And that's success for me. That is the cheat code for me. The fact that they can just come up with their own style, grow in their own pattern, not forcing anything. That is it for me, without comparison. And here is where it gets interesting. I believe that milestone also teaches us as adults and reminds us of the daily development, or maybe the weekly or the monthly development, that it's a process. It's not a race, It's not something that you just get by walking down the park. It's something that, just like children grow at their own pace, so do we adults in our careers, in our relationships, in our personal journey. That's how we also grow. And it's something that is worth, appreciating God for. It's something that is so admirable. So the next time you see a child reaching a milestone, pause, celebrate this child, celebrate the growth itself, celebrate the moment. Not as a reflection of personal expertise, but as a testimony of life unfolding as it should. These are the things that we should not disregard. These are the things that we should focus on and be thankful for. And I hope that you've learned a few things or a lot of things from this little talk of mine. Good. So remember, the milestones are not a race. I want you to always have that at the back of your mind, that milestones are not a race. It's not a competition. Every child blooms at their own pace, and let them bloom. Just like flowers in the gardens, once the sun is out, once the bees are buzzing and doing their thing, And once water touches them, just let this child bloom. Let them have their own roles accordingly, not rushed, not a process to be nurtured in a rushy way, but the process that you would nurture with love, with patience, with kindness, with encouragement, with peace. That way you can celebrate victories that way you can celebrate the little victories each child has. You can trust the journey, and you know that your presence and your support in the life of this child is the greatest gift to the child, is the greatest gift that you can actually offer the child. So growth will come beautifully in its own time. I want you to always get it at the back of your mind that growth would always come beautifully in its own time. They're the love of God, they're the apple of God's eye, and He would always work things out for them. He would always come true for you, even at your difficult times. And I'm using this opportunity to reach out to every parent that has experienced the loss of a child through, say, maybe miscarriages or stillbirths or whatever the case may be, or premature delivery. I use this opportunity to reach out to you, and I pray that God heals your heart, God replaces your with 1,000-fold miracles, and please keep staying strong for yourself, for your partners, for your families, and for your friends, and especially for the world, because you don't know what impact you're giving to people out there. You don't know how many people your stories will reach. So just stay positive at all times. Thank you, and we've come to the end of today's sit down talk. I would be expecting your comments as usual at the comment section, and please do also like, do also subscribe, and share my video. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, and a beautiful week ahead. Until next time, bye bye.